Hi, it's Kate. So I'm going to answer the 3 questions for the geography and rivers for civilizations. So the first question is, why did civilizations spring up around these river areas? So civilizations sprung up around rivers because of their new ability to farm. By staying near the river, every year when the rivers would flood from precipitation in monsoon season or snow fall off from all the snow melting off the mountains, it would flood, leaving good soil that was brought down either through like silt that came down from the mountains or just other soil that's been moving and it has all this nutrients in it and it's been placed down on the bed from the flood. And it'll be there for their newest season or their next growth. They use the rivers mostly for their agriculture and food, and that's really their whole survival. That's how they didn't have to move and go forage. So that's why it usually stayed around the rivers. The next question is, how did geography affect the development of these civilizations? Geography affected the development of these civilizations many different ways, such as the Egyptians with the Nile. In this article that I read, it says agriculture along the Nile was supported by predictable seasonal flooding that deposited fertile soil. And then later in the article, it says they were able to develop basin irrigation from the Nile due to help, again, to raise their plants. Likewise, in Mesopotamia, they had where they were set up in what the article calls the Fertile Crescent. This is due to its good soil and adequate precipitation and the river flow. Again, the flooding of the rivers would help bring in the good soil, and that was from snow melt off the mountains. And the third question is, finally, how does geography affect your daily life? Geography affects my daily life all the time, not only just geography in general, but it affects really how we live. Here in the desert, the geography is barren, and so really there's not much. So it affects what we eat, depending on the seasons, or if we can get it from other states. So if it's not a good season, then we won't have much of a specific food, so we'd have to eat something different. It can affect, personally, my way to get home. I ride my bike around a lot places because I'm not old enough to drive yet, so riding my bike to and fro, it's harder to go up hills or just in I can't go across like a huge expanse that I have to because of the heat. So it just depends on really what you do. Another thing that affects me is what sports you play. Because of where we live, it's conducive to water sports, so swim, dive, but we aren't like next to an ocean, so we can't really surf. So it's really up to geography for which sports we can do here. So that's it. Thank you.